It's a good morning. Still dark. Didn't sleep at all last night. But I feel good. And that happens occasionally. I was just kind of resting. Not sleeping, but resting. And I had this thing on my mind that's been on my mind for a few days. As a matter of fact, someone that I have known for a couple of years called last night, and she was telling me how the well message of the kingdom had been just taking her life, in a totally opposite direction. She was not in a good place a couple of years ago, and now she is doing great. And I was kind of telling her a little bit about this story I'm going to tell you. Imagine a shepherd. The shepherd by himself, and he's been shepherding for a long, long time. He knows every square inch of that wilderness kind of area. And you're a sheep. Now, the 23rd Psalm, Big Daddy is my shepherd. I have need of nothing. That's a big statement. Yahovah is my shepherd. When you really get down to it, if he is my shepherd, I'm well. Now, you're one of the sheep. Let's say there are 100 sheep in this sheepfold. And he has parked you in this oasis that is just amazing. The view, the mountain ranges in the background, a little snow on top of the mountains, the tallest ones. The grass down where you are in this oasis, the grass is just lush. The spring that is bringing up the water and flowing like a small river. It's clear, it's clean. The palm trees, they're everywhere. A lot of shade. It's just fabulous. Food, water, envision, everything. Everything's really good. And then the shepherd, he just starts moving one day. And you know, you've been there for several days, weeks, and he's going. He's not just getting up and walking around picking up some dates to eat. He's going. So you follow. And there's like 100 sheep. Some of them kind of tend to hang around the peripheral areas outside. They kind of like, they just kind of like it out there. They know him. They travel with him. But they're more of an outlier sheep. And then there are those that are they just wander around there somewhere between the ones close to him and the ones on the outside there. They just kind of amble around. They're following the shepherd. But some of the sheep, they like to be really, really close to the shepherd. It's more about him than it is the grass and the water and the view and the shade and the comfort and all the other stuff. To those close ones, it wouldn't matter if he said, let's go out there in the middle of the desert and just sit in the middle of the hot sun for a few days. They wouldn't care. They would say, okay, I'm with you, Daddy. Those close ones, that's just how that's how they are. They have tasted that closeness. They've tasted that goodness. They've tasted that loving kindness, tender mercies. They've seen the patience. They've desired the patience. They've seen the constriction that traveling with him can bring through all the storms and other things in life. The heat, the cold. And yet, what they see, those things they see in him, are kind of like more important than their food and their shade and their water. And they just can't get close enough, can't stay close enough. There was a parable, or there is a parable about, I'll just say, 30, 60, and 100-fold. Do you know that story? $30, $60, and 100. The ones on the periphery, they kind of, they like living out there. They feel more free out there. They get to maybe, do some more things that they like out there on the edge. They want to keep their eye on him and, hey, shepherd, I love you. I'm out here playing around and I'm doing, what's that over there? And they may go off and occasionally one of those periphery ones, they'll go off and kind of forget what's going on, forget the flock. They'll get lost. Sometimes they may be lost for years. Decades. Lost for decades. Don't know where he is. Don't know where anybody is. They just know they're lost. They walked with him. They became part of his flock. They loved him, and they kind of wandered away and got lost. And when they realized, what have I done? And the wolves start howling and the wind starts blowing and they realize now they're in trouble. And they start calling out to him, not even really believing that he'll respond. They just think they're a lost cause. They have wandered away, and it's just there's no help for them yet. They finally stop and turn and call out, "Here he comes." Even if it's in the middle of the night, here he comes. Even if this sheep has lost its way so bad it has gotten all the way on the other side of a river away from him, he'll come walking on top of the water to get to them if that's what it takes. Because he heard their cry. Ah! And he gets to that wandering sheep. It's hurt. It's broken up. I mean, it can hardly walk at this point. It can hardly go. It's just about to be eaten up by the wolves. It liked where it was going at first. It looked good, felt good, tasted good. It was good, but it wasn't. And the shepherd shows up, picks that wandering sheep up, puts it on his shoulders. Even if there's a river there, just walks across the top of the river to get back, to get that baby back where it belongs. And the sheep could not have done that. Only he, hearing the cries, responding to the cries, rescuing and carrying, only he, the shepherd, could have accomplished the saving of the sheep. So he gets the sheep back, the sun's starting to come up, and he's, oh man, shepherd's gonna be a few days dressing wounds and picking all the cockle burrs out of the wool and cleaning up and just helping feed and water and just holding really, really close. And then after a while, sheep's kind of like, oh, I made it through. I actually feel good. Thank you so much, my shepherd. I love him. Now that sheep has a choice to kind of go back out, living life around the edge again, or be a close one. The close ones, wow. I have a dog. Her name is Shining Star. Now I got her when she was 9 weeks old, and she was born, gosh, 1,200 miles away from me, long way. And I paid somebody to pick her up, bring her here. She, shining star, she got out of that van and she came over to me and she got between my legs and like, hey daddy, I love you. I mean, she just stuck to me. I was her shepherd from the first moment and still am. When I go outside and I walk around, and I have German shepherds. I may have 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Sometimes there may be 15, 18 of them here on the property. But when I go out there, Star is one of the close. She is the close one. Some of them kind of range around when we're kind of moving, through the property. Some of them are periphery shepherd dogs. Some are kind of like in and out, kind of close. Hey, daddy, I love you, and kind of, yeah. But Star, boom, she's right there. She's right there. If I stop, she stops. If I go, she goes. Sometimes I'm doing something. I'm shoveling some dirt for a project or something, who knows, and I'll turn around and step on her because she's right there. I was like, Star, baby, give me just a little bit of room. She said, I can't, daddy. I have to be as close as possible to you. That is why she's a shining star. She's tasted that closeness and all those attributes of her shepherd. And she's in love with her shepherd and his ways more than food. Even when she has puppies, she loves me more than the puppies. How is that? If you set yourself in close proximity to the shepherd, thirty-fold ones, 60-fold ones, 100-fold ones, the shining stars. When you begin to shine like that, you pick up his shine. And when you pick up his shine, people will be drawn to the shine. A friend I was talking to last night on the phone. She is a shining star now. She loves Big Daddy. And he's raising her up to not only remain close to him, but to be a shining star so others can see his light in her. She has found out how much fun, how good, how exciting it is to be a close one to our shepherd. Turn your heart. It may have been a long time, may have been decades. You're a sheep, you're one of his, you know it, But you're not shining anymore. Maybe.